We know that in the world of finances, there's a lot of hyperbole, terminology, confusing stuff going on. So we want to take some time to break some things down. And in today's segment, we are going to tackle compounding, which a lot of times people don't even know what it means. So you ready to dive in?
Ready to go.
I think the best way to break this down and make it real for all the folks at home is let's look at a CD versus annuity when it comes to tax-deferred compounding.
No, it's a great one. And the idea of compound interest, right, is that your growth compounds and grows. And when it comes to CDs versus fixed annuities, the big deal here are taxes. See, CDs, you pay tax every year on the interest, whereas fixed annuity, you get to defer and let that grow and compound and grow and compound and grow and compound. And over 10 years at a 5% return, the difference between these two, $40,000 more in a fixed annuity because we're not paying taxes every single year.
I think that gets missed is that you're getting interest on your interest without paying tax, whereas if you've got a CD before, you get a 1099 for taxes every year. It comes out of the balance before it rolls into the next year. And I think this gets overlooked a lot when it comes to annuities.
It does, and when you look at it, even over 20 years compared to 10, it gets pretty staggering. I mean, the CD after 20 years would be worth $537,000, whereas the fixed annuity at 663. I mean, that's a $126,000 difference because of the tax drag that's happening with the CDs.
Wow, so that's almost half of what they put in at the beginning. You're getting an additional interest by using a tax-deferred tool in your retirement planning.
Right, 50%.
Now, compounding isn't all fun. So let's talk about compounding going the other way. When stock market, come into play, and it does go backwards. I know we have to remind people, it doesn't go up. When the money goes backwards, compounding works against you. Explain to the viewers at home how that works.
Yeah, so this is one of the biggest misses in the industry because everyone talks about the average returns and the market, we've averaged 8-9% a year, but what does that actually mean for us? And when I think about it, if you look at a $500,000 portfolio, that does have one of those drawback years. It goes back 35%. Now, if we move forward, right, the market goes back and then eventually it comes back up. If we had a 5% return each year after a setback like that, how many years would it take to recover?
I think most people would say 7 because 7 times 5 is 35%. I lost 35%, now I need 35%.
Yeah, sure, simple math, right? But no, and in fact, because of that setback, it actually takes 9 years, or if we just built in 1% inflation, which is relatively low, it'd be 12 years before we make that money back.
I mean, that's staggering. So if you just retired and you were excited in 2008 or 2000 and the stock market tumbles 35%, you'd have to wait 12 years just to get back to even if you got in on one of those years. It feels like every decade the market has a couple of those uh-ohs.
Right.
You'd be waiting 12 years just to get back to where you started. Your 30-year life savings would have to sit at flat or below until almost over a decade.
Yeah, meanwhile, you're having heart palpitations just hoping you don't see another 35% loss in that decade.
That is unbelievable, and I think it really highlights the power of compounding. Thank you, Phil. Investments are fun, and they do matter, but a 5, 10, or 15% return on $0 is still $0. That is why getting your nest egg protected against the 4 largest risks of retirement is the first part of every roadmap. Our roadmap deliverable includes a market risk and fee breakdown, and it also includes a detailed IRA tax plan and long-term care planning legal strategies. Nobody is talking about what really matters in retirement, so let's start now. Don't delay, it's too important. You need a roadmap for retirement.